If you now could please remain standing, place your hand over your heart, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chair, ready, color, ready, cut, right, face, go, where, heart.
Thank you. Please be seated. Welcome to the front of the room, tenor Cesar Sanchez and pianist Christopher Martin.
Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I can't possibly compete with anything remotely like the singing that we've just heard. Marvelous, a wonderful way to start the Christmas vacation. And Mike Moodian showed the real qualities of a chairman by telling me about 5 minutes ago what I had to do. I come here primarily to congratulate our friend and colleague, Congressman Royce, on his elevation to be the chair of the Foreign Relations Committee of the United States House of Representatives. It's a big step up for Ed, and it's one he completely deserves. I've known him for a very long time, when he was first running for, I think, an assembly seat. And over the 22 years that he's been in the United States Congress, this is his 11th successful campaign, he's done all the right things. He's been in the Finance Committee, and during his time there, he was extremely helpful on the United States foreign trade and a number of other activities. I'll tell you more about later, about how to handle the problem of Iran. We have a few ideas that I hope you would find constructive. Now, Mike also asked me very briefly to sort of run around the world and give you some idea of what's going on and what Ed Royce will have to face. And I will only keep it simple. Essentially, the Foreign Relations Committee and the President, and indeed the United States as a whole, face two kinds of problems that lie ahead. One of the global problems, the ones that affect the entire world, and the other are the regional problems, the more specific ones. The general problems you know, but they're real. One is global warming. We doubted it was happening, but anyone who's looked at the recent storms knows that that is happening. The oceans are rising. It's a problem we have to face. It's also the case that there is desiccation of large areas of the world's deserts. That's part of the problem that lies behind the problems in Mali, which you've read about only today, and in the Sudan. We have to try to deal with the issue of Palestine. It cannot go on as it has been doing. And Syria in flames. My heart bleeds with Syrians, a great civilization, and to see those marvelous cities like Aleppo and Damascus being torn to the ground, and we are feeling unable to do anything about it. And most of all, hanging over the Middle East is the whole issue of Iran and the relationship of the United States with the Islamic Republic that has religious as well as power relationships at stake. Fred Mary, who is one of the Iranian Americans well known in this area and a former chairman, has worked with me to produce a little book called The Iranian Imbroglio. Wonderful word, imbroglio. It means a real mess. And so we have ventured to make a few suggestions, which I think Ed Royce will take up, as to how we avoid a war and try to bring about a settlement in the Gulf, the Persian Gulf or Arabian Gulf, depending how you call it, and also the extension of a nuclear-free zone, which would include Iran, but would also have to include Israel. Difficult stuff. Read the book. And so it's with the greatest pleasure, having done what I can for Mike, that I'd like to ask young Kim, who is representing the congressman, to come up with Mary so that we can present to her and through her to Ed Royce the first cover of our new book on Iran, the Iranian embroidery. Fred and young Kim.
Here's the cover of the book, and hopefully when it's published in 2 weeks, we will have a sort of a presentation of the book to you. So this is a pleasure to get the very first cover to our honorable Ed Royce, who's going to have a very, very important job to do. So, Jan,
Thank you so much. Thank you, Fred and Sir Alvin Griffiths, a gentleman whom I have come to know over the years with greatest respect. As your friend, Congressman Ed Royce, continues his role as a member of Congress as the incoming chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, he has a daunting task to take care of the problem, not only here domestically, but around the world. And as Sir Alvin mentioned, from Asia to Europe to Middle East, all around the world, there are challenges that Mr. Royce will face. And as the new chairman, it will be up to him to read this book, study with this book, to get the wise counsel, to know what to do when the crisis arises. And he will be looking up to you, Sir Alvin, to get the right counsel and advice that he needs to do the job right. So it's my honor to accept the front cover of this book, and I'll be very honored to deliver this to him. Thank you so very, very much.
And the second remark came, of course, from Winston Churchill. And he said, "I have found the secret of deceiving diplomats. I tell the truth, and they think I am lying." And finally, which I think is a good challenge to the World Affairs Council, it's again from Churchill, and he said, "The empires of the future will be the empires of the mind." I think that's true too. God bless you, and a Merry Christmas.
Okay, at this time, hold the mic down a little bit. At this time, I would like to introduce my friend David Nazar from PBS SoCal. David is a veteran Los Angeles and Orange County television journalist and former Emmy Award nominee. He's the producer of Inside SoCal on PBS and recently captured his 5th Golden Mike Award for Best News Public Affairs Program by the Radio and Television News Association of Southern California. David is behind some major stories that have broken through in Orange County, from allegations of misconduct with the Public Guardian's Office, kickback schemes with high school coaches. Very honored that David is here this evening. So David, if you could please take the stage. And David is going to interview Buzz Aldrin. If I could now take a minute to talk about Buzz Aldrin. Colonel Aldrin was educated.
You're watching the Orange County Crosstalk Show with Alex Bucci.